I have some breaking news. It's terrible. It's not great news in terms of breaking news, but Zach Wilson will indeed start for the Jets this weekend against the Texans. He's going to do his job.
That was a really terrible story that came out working against him. I'm curious how that leaked. I'm curious how valid it is. I know you mentioned Beningo as Rob Saleh's number.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible look to not be there for your brothers in that locker room, and maybe that's overstating the relationship that he has with his teammates, given what we know about Zach Wilson and how it went last year for him. But that was a really bad look for a dude that already gets projected plenty of millennial young youth. You don't know how this game is played or how to manage those personalities.
I want to talk about this as, more and more young players are going to come into the space with more and more mental health issues. And I'm not saying he has them. I'm just saying the pressurization that we're putting around all of this is going to make it very hard for any of the people coming up through this pipeline to be different than the generations that came after them with what this relationship is with work, Stugotz. If you're a young person working in New York and you're the quarterback of the Jets, and Diana Rossini reports something that Aaron Rodgers has commented on now, and I want to get to that sound in a second, but I imagine that so much of what's happening around all of the seriousness that we do around sports, winning, losing, and the Jets, I imagine Diana Rossini is getting swallowed right now by all manner of awful because Aaron Rodgers is pointing out to people that there are leaks in the Jets building. And beyond that, and he's complaining about it and giving more news to a Diana Rossini story that Zach Wilson was reluctant to play because he might get injured because they stink. And I don't blame him for not wanting to play. Nobody would want to play quarterback for that team. But the mentality of football players is you go for your teammate and you fight with your teammate to make us better because we're all breaking our bodies out here. And somebody who comes in with the Gen Z of oh, no, man, what are we doing around here?
And Aaron defends that. To me, that part's annoying. First off, if Diana Rossini, and I'm glad you brought this up, if she reports something, it's accurate. If she's telling you something, it's accurate. She's one of the best NFL reporters that we have. And I don't care what Aaron Rodgers says. I don't care if he tries to discredit her. I don't care if he's mad at the Jets. You chose the Jets. You have played football for 4 downs for the Jets, okay? Yep, there were leaks. Welcome to the party, pal. That's what our organization is all about. You chose this organization.
Oh, John McClane?
Yeah, I did. It was weird. And Green Bay has to be sitting back and laughing at all of this because he's the Jets' problem now. And the Jets are paying him $40 million a year. And Jordan Love is making a lot less. And the Packers, and by the way, Jordan Love will be signed by the Jets in about 15 years. The Packers are about to go on the greatest stretch of quarterback play in the history of the NFL. From Favre to Rodgers, and if Jordan Love is the guy, oh my God, Mark Murphy, Gutekunst, they're all sitting there. They are laughing at the New York Jets, and they should. We're pathetic.
If Jordan Love is closer to what he's looked like the last few weeks than he did at the start of the season,
he's been great,
then it's unprecedented.
Yes.
It's like the Steelers with head coaching. They've got all the luck. But we've referenced this Aaron Rodgers soundbite from the Pat McAfee Show. Here it is.
When you use sources and whether intentional or unintentional, try to assassinate someone's character like that report does for Zach, I have a real hard time with that.
Okay,
really
so you're saying that was an effort to maybe make Zach look like a worse human than potential people already view him.
I think that was, how can he not read it any other way? I mean, you're basically saying that this kid is quitting on the team and doesn't want to play and has given the middle finger to the organization. That if that's journalism now, if you're going to use sources and whoever that, I want to say the F word now.
You can't. We're doing journalism.
But whoever
can't, right?
Fool.
That's one of the rules. What's one of the rules?
Whoever that person is that thinks it's okay, number one, to talk to anybody like that, I don't understand what you get out of that, number one. But number two, what is your impetus? What is your motivation to try and bury someone like that? And that's a problem with the organization. We need to get to the bottom of whatever this is coming from and put a stop to it privately, because there's no place in a winning culture where, and this is not the only time, there's been a bunch of other leaks.
Big city, a lot of reporters.
I get it.
A lot of friends.
I get it. They're not your friends.
No, yeah.
They're not your friends.
Yeah, friends.
They're not your friends. Even if they are, like, is that really what you want to be about? You want to be about using someone in the media to leak stuff to, in order for what? To get them to put your name out there for a job, or if you're a player, to get you a write-up, something? I think it's chicken.
Looking directly into the camera for effect is pretty powerful there. I'm with Aaron Rodgers on this one.
Me too.
I think it is, if it is indeed a true report coming from within the organization, that is someone trying to drive a schism there. And I find it really hard to believe, even knowing what we know about Zach Wilson and how he stepped into it in a post-game press conference and essentially lost his job last year because of it. I find it really hard to believe that Zach Wilson would be given the opportunity to start again and say no.
This is why I side with Aaron Rodgers on this, and it's not siding against Diana Rossini. It's just the tension we're in the middle of that we just talked about with Matt Barnes. Many of these people do not like us because we report the truth. And Aaron Rodgers' problem is not with the media, although the media is an easy target.
It's the truth.
It's his organization giving the truth to someone outside the organization. I don't blame him for being mad about that. That's not what winning places do.
But you can't get mad at Diana for doing her job. She's reporting the news.
He just doesn't like the media. Look, Stugotz, the tension he can get mad at is, yes, absolutely, no question about it. These athletes can have trouble with the truth and journalism in general because our job is really inconvenient to them. It's not there to support them. It's not there to help them. They get buried under this when the truth gets reported.